Hello mortgage coaches, this is Jacob with support. Today's demonstration is to show you how to do a points versus no points strategy in Edge. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a client because we want to do this as a total cost analysis. And I'm going to make this one a marketing report and just call it Should I Pay Points? And then I don't need a friendly name because I'm making this a marketing report, but if this was for a specific borrower, I'd probably want to enter something like points versus no points in the friendly name so that I can identify this again later. Now, a points versus no points can be done with either a purchase or a refinance. For today's demonstration, I'm going to show you how to do it as a purchase. So I'll check purchase a new home, and then we'll enter our property value, purchase price. Now we can skip the affordability section because we're just doing this as a marketing report, so we're not collecting any specific borrower data on this, and we're going to go straight over to products. So what we're going to do is we're going to enter a simple purchase transaction. So let's say a 10% down, 30 fixed. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop in my equity percentage there, or my down payment percentage. I'll put in my interest rate that I can get them today. So that's 5% on a 30-year term. We'll pull in one of our closing cost templates. And there's my 30-year fixed purchase. I'd want to make edits to some of the fees that are variable fees, things like the hazard insurance reserves and tax reserves. So let's say for my hazard insurance I've got about $400, and for my taxes I've got right around $700. And then I'm going to apply that to the loan. Now this one is without points, so I'm not going to enter any points on this one, but I am going to enter it on an alternate product here. So last part of this one is I need to put my monthly escrows in there. And I would highly advise you use factor percentages if you can. This is just going to allow you to have accurate numbers when you use the copy function. So same thing on the mortgage insurance, we'll put in our conventional factor there. And then we're going to add another product. Now product 2 is going to be the same loan but with an extra point to buy down the rate. So let's say 10% down with 1 point. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the copy button. I'm going to copy that 10% down 30 fixed. And then I would probably need to call my lock desk first and find out exactly how much that point is going to buy my rate down. But let's say just for the case of this study, we'll say it can buy it down a half a point. So I'm going to reduce my rate to 4.5. Then when I get over to my closing costs, I'm just going to enter that point right here. And if you want to see how much that actually equates to, just hover your mouse over it and it'll tell you exactly what that is. And then because I use the copy function, all of my fees carried over, my monthly costs carried over, and my mortgage insurance carried over. So I don't need to do anything more with this. Now the next part is the analysis screen. Now as you can see, our 1 point option is actually saving them $68 a month. When we look at the short term, we can see that this compares the total interest, MI, and closing costs between the two loan programs. If we were to look at month 1, we would see that our no points option is got a savings at month 1 because we haven't saved enough interest to overcome the cost of that point. But if we want to find out where that break-even point is, we're going to keep adjusting those short-term months until the cost savings shifts over to our 1 point loan. So let's take a look at what it is at 36 months. So we've actually already got it at 36. How about at 24? We're right on the cusp. So I know that if I adjust this up to 25, my savings are going to shift over. Now when they do that, that's where I've broken even on the additional closing costs. I've saved enough interest in this case to overcome that additional $22.50 I had to pay in points. Now anytime you're showing points versus no points, it's always a good idea to show the absolute long term as well, because we want to see what the total difference is between the interest that we're paying. And in this case, it's $26,000. So this particular situation, it cost them $22.50 in 1 point to get a return on that $22.50 of $26,000. So pretty good investment long term for your borrower. I would tell you that while you're doing this, since you've got a $68 monthly savings, you probably want to show a reinvestment for that as well. And if I was going to do that, I'd hit adjust reinvestment strategy. And you could either put this $68 straight back in the bank for them, or you can put it straight into a principal reduction. So let's show what it would happen if I just put it right back into their bank account. So there's my $68, and let's say that they're getting a 0.5% rate of return on that bank account. And you can see that at the 30-year point, that's an extra 26 grand in my pocket, plus the 26,000 that I just saved on interest over time. Now the last step here is, because it's a marketing report, we don't need to put anything in about the property address. We can skip straight over to the presentation screen. Now make sure to put in your payment notes. And once you've got those payment notes in there, you can skip to the last screen of the presentation and make sure to select a quote date. So I will date it for today's date, then hit generate link. Now at this point, especially on a marketing report, I would highly recommend that you create a video to accompany this presentation so that when it gets shared, it still carries your advice with it. But this link is ready to go as is. You can actually right click on this one, copy it, paste this into a new email to your borrower, and send it out. Any questions on this? Shoot us a quick note over at support@mortgagecoach.com. We'd be happy to help. Thank you much. Bye-bye.